Welcome back to Awesome Games Done Quick 2022 online. Folks, we're ready for our next run, our next race. In fact, this is the Krion Conquest Any% race featuring the returning KLM 1187 versus Stone Clive.
Oh, okay, thanks. Sorry, guys. Hey, I'm back. KLM 1187, back. I have Stone Clive with me here. I'm very honored to be doing this race with Stone Clive. He's an awesome speedrunner. And then I also I have Nick back with me. You may remember him from such commentary as Bucky O'Hare. He's going to be calling this race for us here too, so I'll turn it over to him so we can get started.
Awesome. So I am going to do a quick countdown of the game, then we can get into some of the specifics. So get ready, both of you, if we go to the start screen.
Let me do a quick reset here.
Okay. How quickly can you get back there, Caleb? Okay.
All right, yeah,
okay, let's go in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so this is the Krion Conquest, or Magical Kids Doropie in the Japanese version, which is what we are playing. It's a platformer. There are 6 different weapons. I'll come back to the broom in a little bit. You're going to see the broom a lot, and that's what they're currently using. But the other weapons, there is just kind of a normal red weapon that they'll use on some of the bosses. There is a fire weapon that does take a little HP when you use it. That will be used sparingly on a couple bosses. And then a ball as well that'll be used on a couple of the bosses. There are a couple other weapons, a freeze weapon that KLM might use once, and shield, which will not be used at all. But in general, this game is a really cute platformer. The broom itself, you're going to see them jumping on it. It kind of performs like Rush Jet from the Mega Man games. And so you can actually have it go forward, backwards, or up, depending on how you shoot with that. And so this is actually the first level getting done for both of them. There are 3 kind of stages in each level, I guess. So this is 1, 2, and they'll finish 1, 3 and get to the first boss. In this level, there's right here on both this screen right here, they're doing what's called a spike jump. Normally spikes will one-shot kill you, but you have just a couple frames where if you land on it and then jump immediately, you will not die, you'll get through it. And then you saw them take damage and damage boost through that second set of spikes as well. Gosh, and the moves keep on coming. The screen we just saw there, you can actually pause in midair, and then when you come out of the pause, jump and get a secondary jump. And so that's how they kind of fooled the game into let them making it up to that ledge really easily. And now we're done with 1, 2. 1, 3, I don't know if there's necessarily anything crazy to talk about here. I think KLM is going to do a slightly safer route where he's going to use the freeze weapon here to freeze some of these fire geysers, if you want to call it. And, ooh, 5 did as well. I wasn't sure if he was going to play it safe or not, but he did. Some differences. So this is the Japanese version. The US version actually doesn't have continues. And so in the Japanese version, if you game over, you can go to the beginning of a level. So if you die in 1, 3 here, you'd start back at 1, 1. I mean, I guess that's not too much help versus gaming over. But you can imagine that'd still be helping in the other levels. There are also some cutscenes in this version of the game where those are not there in the US. That does actually affect the speedrun because because the US version does not have those cutscenes, you can actually skip some of the bosses in the game. And now, as you can see with the bright red alert flashing on your screen, we are to our first boss. And so with this first boss, Essentially, you got to wait a really long time at the beginning here, and it's just going to be switching to the normal weapon, knowing the pattern of how the boss is going to fly across the screen, and then trying to do some charge shots. You can see on both their screens, they have their weapon is kind of, I don't know, vibrating really quickly. That shows that they're charged up, so they're just ready for the boss to reappear on the top left, and then they're going to shoot him some more. And we just continue here. This is a very, very boring first boss. I was thinking of actually having donations read on the first boss, but I figured that probably wouldn't be the best thing to do. It's right. We'll have some donations soon. Once we get to level 3, we'll have plenty of time.
For some reason, there's a single hit you can do right before the boss first disappears that, I don't know, for some reason seems to do a lot more damage than every other hit. I actually missed it, so it took me a little longer.
Yeah, you and Stone Clive both had roughly the same kill there. There'll probably be a little change in strategy on this stage as well. Clive is going to use the broom a lot, where KLM is going to stick to the normal weapon. And I should probably introduce the zips here. So in this game, you can zip, and here you're going to see Clive get to this ceiling, and KLM did it on the other side of this, and once they get into the ceiling at the top, they can zip straight across horizontally. Actually, you can hear mashing from KLM. How you actually do the vertical zip is you need to jump into a wall or up to a wall, hold select and turn around, and then mash the jump button. And that will get you stuck in the wall and be able to have you just shoot straight up. You're going to see that a lot in World 4. And then this is a very dangerous start to the level. They need to do this horizontal zip very slowly. If they do it too fast, they will actually ruin their run, and they will be done. But luckily, they have both gotten through it.
Oh, thank God. Sorry.
No, I mean, that's probably one of...
Oh, sorry.
You got excited too soon.
I got a little too excited.
So KLM's going to show you that zip again. There was another... He died there. He was doing another pause jump, but he just went just too late there. You can see Stone Clive is actually sticking himself into the wall here so he can get up on the mini boss to hit him. That's just kind of a little neat interaction there. There's that double jump on KLM's screen.
There.
And so we're starting here on 2-3 for Stone Clive, and you can see him, he's setting up another zip. The one benefit of this is it actually jumps you out of the zip right where there's a health pickup. And health does not reset during each of these stages, and so it's really important for them to pick that up because damage boosting through a lot of enemies is usually faster.
I just want to say, I'm really glad we both got through that 2-2 zip because
Yeah, it would have been not a very fun time if we only had one person still racing. I can go ahead and talk through the boss, and then we can do a few donations. So the boss coming up here for Stone Clive, he's going to use fire. I didn't see his health, but as long as he's got 4 health, he's going to use the fire attack to start. If he has less than that, he can't use it. And then you're going to see them both do a little sneaky move where they hide on the left side. That doesn't really help kill the boss, but it helps you avoid some of the attacks. But we can go ahead and do a couple donations while they're killing this boss.
You betcha. We have $500 coming in from Brian that says, I love GDQs. Always amazing runs and great causes. Thank you so much, Brian. $50 coming in from Moo. Thanks to the runners, announcers, and staff. Looking forward to another GDQ.
Awesome.
And 10... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to queue up the next level, then you've got it for another couple minutes.
Okay.
So Stone Clive just got through that. World 3 is the obligatory water world. We had our ice world here in World 2. So we are going to be having a water meter that's to the left of the life meter. So the only real new mechanic is every so often they're going to have to jump out of the water to refill their oxygen. And even being out for like a frame will completely reset, so she can take some really quick breaths. Other than that, the next 2 stages are just going to be a lot of normal platforming while jumping out for some air. So go ahead and do some more donations.
My pleasure. $25 coming in from Warden that says, Mr. Game and Shout made me do this. I mean, that's a great reason. I like that.
Yeah, why not?
$15 from Puyu. Every donation, no matter how small, helps people in need. GDQ allows a lot of people to contribute to a great cause. $10 coming in from Concept. $500,000. Let's go. 1 mil next. $200 from Dustin's Place. Let's go. Great cause by great people. And Bonsai sends in $100. So happy it's finally AGDQ time. Been waiting to watch it and can pitch in my part in honor of my aunt who I lost to cancer 3 years ago. Let's go runners and let's go $500,000. I'm being told we hit $500,000 the fastest ever GDQ events. That's amazing.
Let's go.
Let's go.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
150. Go ahead.
No,
Sorry.
I was just saying that was awesome. Go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah, that's great.
You got it. $150 from Anonymous. Thanks to all the runners and crew for these great events. $100 from Jaeger. First time donating, but have watched bits and pieces before. Hoping to see Intergrade, and perhaps we could get Shinra Power Electric to figure out how to honk out cancer. That's something that power companies do, right? They can honk out cancer? I hope they can.
It would be nice if they could, yeah.
$10 coming in from Izzy. I have a cool boss who lets me watch cool speedruns while working. Greetings to everyone from Austria. That's a really cool boss.
Nice.
Yeah, that is a cool boss. So we're into 3-3 now. So this is the last stage before our next boss. And this is more platforming. I do like how they have the obligatory like spikes above and below you on part of 3-2, which we didn't quite get to talk about. But it always seems like every water stage, you have the spikes that auto kill you, and they're all over the place. You're gonna see a quick little nifty vertical zip there out of Stoneclive, and he just kind of he will get into the wall, start zipping, and then clip through it to immediately fall, which is pretty neat. And you're also going to end up seeing, I think, one more pause jump in this level too. The pause jumps are my favorite part of this speedrun. It's always nice to be able to get a double jump when you're platforming. Actually, no, the pause jump was probably in lieu of the... Yeah, you see the pause jump from KLM, so he does not do the vertical zip where Stoneclive did. So here on this boss, you do see the fire attack again to start, which, trust me, it does damage. And then you're just going to get to the right, you're going to duck under these rockets that come from him, and just try to shoot as many charge shots as you can at him after the rockets. And you can kill him on the right, but if Stoneclive had missed one of his charge shots, so that you have to go over to the left, and he swags by jumping in the spikes after the boss is dead, and then doing the vertical zip off the screen. We'll see how KLM does here.
I actually took an accidental hit right at the end there, so...
Could you not fire? Okay.
No. It's not much slower, but... assuming I don't miss any of the charge shots here, too. Okay.
So as KLM finishes up the level 3 boss, we're going to go to World 4, which is essentially the world of vertical zipping. You see, at the start, Stoneclive got on a very specific X position on the screen, and then went straight up and was able to start a vertical zip, and he's just mashing the jump button to get through about 5 full screens of vertical jumping, or vertical scrolling rather. now that he's finally up here, he can continue back horizontally, at least for a little bit. Oh, he does take a death. So they're actually, KLM is ahead by a few seconds again. This is incredibly close. One thing I did not mention, so we are towards the end of the game here. After World 4, you just have a 3-phase final boss. And the first 2 phases of that have an actual frame perfect kill, which is an insta-kill. So if either of our runners get those, if they get both of them, it could save upwards of about 45 seconds. Unless somebody's up by over a minute, it can still be anyone's game, even down to the final boss. Because as a lot of people know, but some might not, the NES is on 60 frames a second. So if something is frame perfect, you have quite literally 1/60th of a second to do it. And you would need to do 2 of those in a row. So odds of someone getting both of them, not great. The Clive is actually doing a vertical zip there. That's a really dangerous zip because if he misses that, he can fall onto the spikes and die. KLM did go the longer way around. It only saves about 5 or 6 seconds to do the zip. But they both get through. So 4-2, yeah, we'll talk through this stage, and then 4-3 we can do some more donations before the last boss. There is an incredibly long vertical zip again at the end of this stage. But the first beginning part of this is just some normal platforming. I would like to call out the ducking sprite. I think it's just the cutest little sprite ever of her holding her hat. But here's that enormously long vertical zip. Go ahead and do maybe 3 or 4 more donations.
You got it. $25 from Blanco, donating for the FF7 incentive. Can't wait to glue my eyeballs to the TV for the entire rest of GDQ. I hope all the runners have a fantastic run. $100 coming in from Chrome. All the runs have been amazing so far. I'm so looking forward to the rest of the week. I always love to see just how much money we can raise for PCF, with a brother who beat leukemia and an aunt who is in the final stages of pancreatic cancer. I can't help but get choked up when I think of all of us coming together for this amazing cause. Best of luck to all the runners, and always a huge shout out to everyone behind the scenes. I leave you with a haiku. What is a haiku? Wait, am I doing this right? I'll just end with orb. Thank you very much.
Okay, so let's talk through the final boss. So I talked about the quick kill. What you need to end up doing is getting on the exact right positioning on the screen for each of the 2 phases. And then you're going to need to take damage and attack at the same frame. So the same frame that you take damage from the boss, you're going to need to attack and do damage. So it is difficult. Our runners do get it sometimes, so it'll be great if they do. The run is close enough to where it is anyone's game. If someone gets both of these and the other person doesn't, most likely they will win the race. So I'm happy to see the stakes high. But here we go after this boss. This boss is one of the few we use the ball attack for. Ball attack looks weird, but essentially you're just going to stand there and then you're going to jump over the rockets to try not to get hit. It'll move occasionally. Nothing too terribly crazy about the boss. Clive looks like he's actually doing a charge shot version of this fight, which is interesting. And they're both through the boss. So it looks like KLM is up by only a few seconds. So pretty much, yeah, if someone gets one of the quick kills and the other one doesn't, that could put them ahead. We'll see what happens. This is going to happen really quick if they get it, because this is just a very small corridor and then you're at the final bosses. Okay, so KLM missed the first one, and so did Clive.
It's too late.
So who will try for the second one? The second phase is like a doppelganger fight. Oh, missed it there too. KLM, will Clive get his? Oh, just missed it. So it's pretty much just a straight up fight for these last two phases here. This pattern is known. It's not a random pattern. It's just kind of annoying. You gotta wait while she's up at the top. So they are both through. They're both going to be going to the final boss. The final boss has 3 different, I don't know, it's kind of the same phase, but the hitbox changes 3 times.
Time will be on the last hit.
Yes, time will be on the last hit. So right now, the little box is by the forehead. Caleb does take a death, but it's unfortunate. Like I said, you do not get your health back in between these, so now phase 2 is kind of on that left lapel side of the boss. And soon we'll swap to phase 3. Yep, there it's on the right side now, and time is going to be on this last hit. That's time for Clive, for Stone Clive. And then we'll see KLM finish this out again in style.
Well, I guess in the good news, I was able to get the second frame perfect kill.
Oh, you did? I missed it. I was trying to watch. I was watching
no, it's
for
fine,
time.
It's fine. It's fine. No, totally, yeah. It's just, so you have to like jump here to manipulate these orbs so they don't hit you, and I just jumped a little too late the first time through, so I got hit. It was unfortunate because it sounded like it was pretty close there.
Oh no, it was within about a second or a second and a half after the first 2 phases.
Oh, I messed it up again. Oh man. Oh, it's a game over. Well, the good thing about game over here is that, you know, because it is the Japanese version, we do get to start over here, right at the final bosses again. So, yeah, we'll try one more time here. Why not? We'll try to get both of these frame perfect.
Yeah, because this is level 5-1, but I mean, you go back to the beginning of the level, so that is right here. Okay. So we saw phase 1, we saw phase 2. Let's see if we can get both at once. This would be a pretty epic ending. Game over, then get both the quick kills.
Oh,
see,
yeah.
you just wanted to show. That was just for the audience. Thank you, KLM.
Oh,
the other benefit here too is you have tons of health now.
Yeah, that's the best part. Yeah.
Nice.
So I believe I could take 1 hit, maybe 2 now. I'm gonna try not to take any. I'll just finish this so we can move on to the next one. Since I'm pretty sure I know the rest of it now.
Phase 2.
All things considered, I am glad we get to do this frame perfect because we can see just how.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally about 45 seconds if you get it.
That's
Time. Yep.
Yeah. Oh man.
Awesome job.
Big GG to Stone Clive there. That was awesome. That was amazing. Yeah. I can't wait to watch that back because it seemed like it was really close.
That was a good quick kill in the end.
Yeah.
That was really nice. And it was fun to race. KLM made it through 3 speed runs. That's a great fact. I really respect him.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
I appreciate that. It means a lot coming from you. Again, it was such an honor to do this race with you here. We didn't submit this as a race. We both submitted on our own, and GDQ, saw both submissions and merged it into a race. And I couldn't have been happier, honestly, because it's such an honor to race Stone Clive here and show this game off. And it's a really awesome game, a really awesome speedrun.
I do, really quick before we leave, I want to shout out Andy Swee. He was going to do commentary with us. Yeah. He's a legendary NES runner, has incredible times in so many games. He was actually called into work for a certain C word that I shouldn't mention on stream, but he had to cover for some people. So we miss you, Andy. Wish you could have been here, but he's just incredible.
Yeah, big shout out to Andy for sure. And I just want to personally just thank GDQ one more time for for letting me do 3 runs here at one event. I mean, it was like I was joking up until this time. I was just like, waiting for the email to say like, hey, like, you know, like we made a mistake by approving too many of your runs. It never happened. It was actually a real thing. So thank you so much. It's such an honor. And again, just to everyone out there who's ever questioned submitting before, just submit the runs. You never know what's going to happen. You never know. Just submit. It's the only way to get them in. And most importantly, let's keep raising money for charity. Shouts to 500K.
It's always great to see a speedrun race. And congratulations to KLM for 3 speedruns this morning. Incredible job. Absolutely amazing. Welcome back, everyone, to AGDQ 2022 online, powered by Twitch. I have a moment for a few donations here. Let me read out a few of them for you lovely folks. Kadrek sends in $50. It says, this Krion Conquest race is witchin'. Thanks for showing us this cool run, KLM 1187 and Stone Clive. $20 coming in from Mr. Rez. Cozy Nest Block, Cozy GDQ, great cause. $25 from Drake. Just woke up for day 3. Watching these runners crush these games makes for an excellent week off work. Haggis Lord sends in $50. Hi to everyone from this great event. It is again a fantastic AGDQ. Thanks to all who are involved here. Greetings from Germany. P.S. Let's get this FF7 remake run. Absolutely. Don't forget we have the incentives going on when you donate. You are going to allocate your donation dollars. We have the Adam and Chelid character selection fight for Final Fantasy 13, the blindfolded Dahaka race, and of course, bonus game number 3, which is Final Fantasy 7 Remake Integrate coming up later today. You don't want to miss that. Marabou84 sends in $25, says, FF7 pretty please. And I have $500 coming in from Robert. Final Fantasy 13 has one of the best soundtracks in this series. Fighting Nate, Nascent Requiem, and Sunlit Waterscape are absolute bangers. Good luck on the run, and thanks to all the runners and GDQ staff. Like Snow, you're all heroes. Okay, and before our next run, we've got an interview on deck with Kung Fu Fruit Cup and Kaorun. Please, take it away.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Awesome Games Done Quick Online 2021. I am Kung Fu Fruit Cup here, joined by Kaorun, who's getting ready to do his upcoming Final Fantasy 13 any% run. How you doing, Kaorun?
I'm doing really good. I'm really excited to show the run, and it's my first time I'm in GDQ, so really excited.
Yes, so we were talking about that. As your first time, I know you're feeling a little nervous, and don't worry, you're going to do awesome. We were saying that, you know, after the first few minutes, it tends to like get a lot easier. Do you have anything more specific about that, like the feeling of doing a run? Because you have done something for ESA before, and you've been on Community Spotlight. Like, what has it felt like before when you started versus like how long it takes you to get into the run and kind of drop those nerves?
I mean, in general, it's just the first few minutes. So like usually I'm very, very nervous because I'm excited to show the game. I'm excited to like explain what we're doing. And the first 10 minutes are usually the hardest. But after that, it's totally fine. Unless the run starts really bad, then I might think about it a bit more. But a lot of the time, people don't notice that either. So.
Right. Yeah. That's the interesting thing is that people don't notice what the runners themselves notice, or even like what a commentator will notice, or a host, or anything like that. Like it's a very different experience. And so I feel like people get, you get worked up, and it's very normal, but it's not, it's always better than you think.
Yeah. You want to show the best possible run, obviously, at a live event. So, right. Yeah. But you never know what happens, and then you have to adjust and all of that. But yeah, exactly. Only the first 10 minutes, and then usually it's a bit better based on like how nervous you were before. But
yeah, I agree. And so when it comes to adjusting, you're playing a Final Fantasy game, so obviously you have fights that are going to involve a lot of RNG and things like that. So like, what would you say are the best strategies that you've come up with or that are involved in the run for dealing with this kind of RNG? Like when could we see the most difficult examples of it come up that you might have to deal with, and what do you do?
The most difficult stuff is usually in endgame. The last 1.5 hours are very, very hard compared to before. There are a few fights that are very technical earlier, but the fights themselves, like Final Fantasy 13 is dynamic combat. It has the ATB system, but in a different way than the other Final Fantasies had before. And the enemies are not waiting for your actions. Like, they do stuff in real time. And based on that and based on what they do, they also don't follow a fixed pattern. A few do, but not all of them. So you have to adjust mid-fight based on what happens, what they do. And that's very exciting. And in endgame, because we are very under-leveled, the fights are very hard and very, very technical.
So what's like the main key or the main thing that we can expect to see for dealing with like being so incredibly under-leveled with these hard fights?
In this game, it's mainly the fight execution. Like, we touch on that during the run a bit more, but you can increase the multiplier for your damage in the game. Like, the game has a mechanic that you have a chain gauge that you fill up more and more, and that's a damage multiplier. The higher that is, the more damage you do.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, we can do stuff that you could also do in previous Final Fantasies, like getting stronger equipment and also upgrading your equipment, which is very interesting too, because we do that very efficiently in the run. And the gil income is different than before. Upgrading costs gil, but we do not gil from anything. Do not get gil from anything except selling stuff. So we need to sell things to make the things that we have stronger, pretty much.
Gotcha.
Previously, it was like you get gil after fights in other Final Fantasies. In this game, not. You don't get it after fights. You can only get it from selling things.
Interesting. And so, and at the same time, like you're dealing with a glitchless run to begin with. Like this basically doesn't have any glitches. So it's all literally just what do we sell? How do we deal with these fights? And going from there, like you're saying, it's you think it's one of the best speed runs in the Final Fantasy series, right?
Yes, personally, I think so. A lot of other Final Fantasies runners think so as well. It's a very technical run. It is, no matter what people thought of it casually, because that's obviously subjective for everyone, the speedrun is totally different. And there's a lot of things that the speedrun does that people don't even know is possible in the game, mechanically.
Okay, like what? Like, give me just one example. Just one.
So every role we have in the game has a different ability that it strengthens. So we have multiple roles, like commandos that are doing damage have a role bonus that increases the damage even more if you are in that role. Okay. When you are in the healer role, your healing is increased. When you are in the Ravager role, which is mainly responsible for the chain increase that I talked about earlier, in that role you do more chaining. Mm-hmm. So all of these roles do bonuses. And if you, for example, use a projectile spell in a Ravager role, like a fire that is a projectile that flies to the enemy, before that hits, you shift to a commando that has the role of increased damage, the bonus. That fire will also get the increased damage from the commando role. Oh, because you shifted to it before it hits. And that is used quite a lot in the run as well.
Cool. Wow. There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot that's going into it. Okay, great. I can't wait to see this. Now, before I let you go, it seems like we have a really cool incentive that could be involved in this run. Do you want to mention that for everybody real fast?
Around 4 hours into the run, a bit before that, there's a boss fight in Chapter 11 that a lot of people probably know that played the game. That one can be done completely blindfolded, and I will try to do that if it's met.
Awesome.
After the run, though, we do it normally during the run, and then if it's met after the run, again, blindfolded.
Awesome. So you'd be doing it normally during the run itself. You said, okay, so we'd have basically throughout the entire game to get this incentive met, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Okay, well, we'll see how close that is already after this. And I really appreciate talking to you about all this. I'm so excited for the run. I think it's going to be awesome, and I can't wait to see. And you're going to do great. So thanks for chatting with me today, Krion.
Thanks for having me, and I hope you all enjoy the run.
Yes, it's going to be fantastic. So let's get excited because I believe that's coming up next. So thank you all so much for being here. Again, I am Kung Fu Fruit Cup, was joined by Krion. Please stick around and you get to see this awesome Final Fantasy 13 80% run coming at you in just a few.
Thank you so much, and once again, welcome back to AGDQ 2022 Online. It has been, as always, a pleasure to hang out with all of you this morning, but my dear friends, that's all the time I have for today. But don't worry, there is still plenty of speedrunning to come. And coming up next, we have Final Fantasy XIII, presented by Krion and hosted by Bobby Blackwolf. But before we get there, let's have another peek into the prize room with Sent. Until next time, as always, stay determined and go fast.
With an introduction like that, how could I not be excited? Hello, everyone. As mentioned, my name is Sent, and I am here to tell you all about the prizes. I've got two things for you this morning, a serious case of bedhead and a hunkering to tell you about some of the amazing Final Fantasy XIII prizes we have. And I don't own a comb, so let's take care of the second one. Now, you might notice that I am still in my mother's living room and not down at the studio with Shout this morning. I wanted to explain why. The reason is I don't want to miss a single minute of the Final Fantasy XIII run. If you have never seen Final Fantasy XIII as a speedrun, you need to throw away whatever preconceived notions you have of it from your casual playthrough and understand that this game has been routed like all the way through and back time and time again. The route is so incredibly detailed that you can actually successfully complete a speedrun of it just by following the notes word for word. I've done so, but the execution required is absurd, which is why it blows my mind that we have the opportunity to see one of the late game bosses done entirely blindfolded if we get that incentive met, and I think we are still just a little bit off of making that happen. So hey, get some donations in for great prizes and put those donations towards that blindfolded Dahaka boss fight incentive for Final Fantasy XIII. Now, I'm just going to give you the cheat sheet shortcut here. If you want to get entered into everything I'm about to talk about, you need to drop $50 singular donation. And trust me, you're going to want to. There are some amazing prizes this block. But first off, we have a couple of wonderful $5 minimum donation prizes here, shining brightly in the light from Cute Monster Props. We have this absolutely lovely Super Mario 64 style coin. It's got the little star on one side, just like the coins you collected Super Mario 64. Absolutely lovely quality. Thank you so much, Cute Monster Props. And for B. Watson, we have this lovely Monado pin. I'm really feeling it. I hope you all at home are also really feeling it. It's only a $5 minimum donation. Come on, what do you have to lose? It's going to a great call. It's going to a great cause, and you can get a pin of great quality. I swear, I can speak. I've done it before. I will do it again. $5 donation for both of those individually. They are so cool. Thank you so much to E. Watson and to Cute Monster Props for sending them out to us. Now from Phoebe J, we have something I really love here. This is a movie mashup poster here of Nier Automata and Metropolis. So instead of, the cover art for Metropolis, it's Automata with 2B. This is so cool. Phoebe's done a couple of these like B-movie mashup posters, and they always turn out so fantastically. It's a $10 minimum donation for the poster. Thank you so much, Phoebe, for sending it out to us. Also, for a $5 minimum donation, you can see a great picture of it and all of the prizes I'm talking about over at GamesDoneQuick.com. We have an adorable dice bag from Mountain Goth Mom. It's a hand-crocheted Legend of Zelda-themed dice bag with a Triforce on it. Absolutely adorable. And you might want that dice bag because for a $15 minimum donation from Crochet Away by Kaylin, we have a set of super cool Lilith from Borderlands inspired dice. It actually has a D2 in it, which is something I've never seen before. I know what you're saying, Sint. That's just a coin. Still, though, looks really cool, and I've never seen someone include that in a dice set. I know what you're also saying, Sent. Why did you do this segment from home when all of the prizes are too small to see on camera? Well, to answer that, I'm going to roll a persuasion check. All right, I'm not joking. That was a nat 1. And I think that's plus my charisma modifier of -4. So I don't have a great excuse for you, but you can see a genuinely beautiful photo of all of these dice over at GamesDoneQuick.com. They are red and orange, resin with like beautifully bright blue painted numbers. It super captures that Borderlands cell shaded style. Absolutely lovely dice set. Thank you so much to Crochet Away by Kaylin for sending those out to us. Now from Storyteller Cosplay, we have this absolutely lovely Nier Automata pin set here. You get both of the pods, Pod 42 as well as Pod 153. I promise I didn't have to look at the front of the card to tell you that. I just knew. They're linked together by this lovely chain here you can see at the bottom. They're just adorable. You can put them on your backpack. You can put them on your shirt. You can use them to get great Oki in situations after a knockdown by inputting down/vertical. Wait, no, that's Soul Calibur. You can do that in Soul Calibur. You probably can't do that with these pins, but you should still definitely get them. They are super cool. Thank you so much to Storyteller Cosplay for sending them out. $20 minimum donation for the 2 pins as a set. Also for a $20 minimum donation from Jesse Penning, we have this absolutely adorable Galaxy Mog painting. It is spray paint on canvas, finished with acrylic paint, and you can see the canvas itself is really shiny. It almost looks like Jesse gessoed the canvas or something, because the whole thing has this beautiful sheen to it. But it's a super cool style. It's a classic, iconic Final Fantasy image, but just done in a really cool pop sense. Absolutely love it. $20 minimum donation. Thank you so much, Jesse, for sending that out to us. Now, we have a couple of other prizes that I can't physically show off to you, but I've got some great pictures, and you definitely don't want to miss them, because for $25, we have this absolutely lovely drawing from LG here of not Ratchet and Clank, the alternate versions of Ratchet and Clank, Rivet and Kit. This is a hand-drawn, hand-colored, one-of-a-kind framed piece from LG. It's a $25 minimum donation. LG's artwork is absolutely incredible. If I ever get a tattoo, this is the artist I want to design it, and I'm just going to have to find a tattoo artist who can keep up with their amazing line work. We have this picture in the studio, excited to show it off in person later. Every part about this is incredible. Also, fun fact, when LG turned this in, one of the things I heard from them was, I haven't done color in a while. I'm not sure if this is shaded well enough. And I just looked at this and went, no, this is good. This is incredible. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, LG. Again, $25 minimum donation for this one-of-a-kind Rivet and Kit picture. Now, from Arland, we have this absolutely amazing... Oh, that's not it. Okay, I'm just going to have to cheat and look. There we go. We have this absolutely amazing meteor painting from Final Fantasy VII. This is incredible. I mean, come on. This is maybe one of the most iconic images from Final Fantasy as a series as a whole, if not maybe from gaming as a whole in general. Beautiful canvas, hand-painted piece. $50 minimum donation from now until the end of Kuon. So you do have a little more time to get your donations in for this one, but please get that $50 donation in, because you definitely don't want to miss it. And thank you so much to Arland for sending that out to us. Now from Lalan, from Lalan's Garden, we have this absolutely beautiful flower here. This is a silent princess from The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And when I saw this, I actually freaked out a little bit, because my first thought was, that's a beautiful flower, but how do I manage the logistics of this? Like shipping a flower and keeping it alive until we can draw a winner and get it out to them? Like, I want this. This is beautiful, but there's so many things rushing through my head. It's not a real flower. This is made of silk. This is a silk flower. It is absolutely incredible. It comes in this beautiful frame with the artist's name and a little, kind of like fake botanist description writing up of the flower. It's so cool. $50 donation again from now until the end of Kuon. But please get those donations in, because that's incredible. How could you not love that? Thank you so much to Lalan for Lalan's Garden for sending that out to us. Gotta, of course, talk about the grand prizes real quick, too, because for $250 cumulatively throughout the marathon, you get entered into both of our grand prizes. So $50 right now is going to get you 1/5 of the way there, $50 tomorrow, $50 the next day, every day of the week. You know what? You are entered into those amazing grand prizes from Heroic Replicas, and especially from Dave at Heroic Replicas. We've got a trio of lovely Zelda-themed replicas. We have a Dark Link-styled Master Sword with a black hilt and silver accents. We have a lovely Mark II Hylian shield. It is hefty, it is bulky, it looks absolutely great. We have it in the studio. You can see it when we're back there. Truly pops out. Remember, Rando community, always get a shield. Trust me on that one. Super useful. And new from David Heroic Replicas, just finished fabricating it very recently, the Megaton Hammer. It is a 30-pound solid metal replica of the hammer itself. absolutely awesome. You can see a picture of it over at gamesdonequick.com, and make sure to check that out. Thank you so much again to Dave from Heroic Replicas and from Skytech Gaming. We have a lovely Skytech Gaming Mark 9 gaming PC. You can see the full list of specs of that PC over at gamesdonequick.com as well. Again, just head over there, click on the prizes button. It's somewhere around where my hand is. Check out all of the prizes. While you're there, check out all of the bids that are open that you can put your donations towards, like that Dahaka incentive. You don't want to miss it. Again, you're going to see some of the boss fights in this game. You're going to see all of the menuing and like understanding of boss states and character states and ATB that goes into them. And you're going to be like, oh, yeah, we got to see Kyron do one of these blindfolded. And of course, check out all of the amazing speedruns coming up today, because there are so many cool speed games, not only today, but throughout the entire week. AGDQ 2020 Online is going nonstop until Saturday. Don't miss a minute of it, and especially don't miss a minute of Final Fantasy 13 coming up next.
You are watching Awesome Games Done Quick 2022 online, powered by Twitch. My name is Bobby Blackwolf. I am so excited to be here reading your donations for this next amazing run. We have Final Fantasy 13 by Kyron. This is the first time that Kyron has appeared on a mainline GDQ, and it's the first time Final Fantasy 13 has appeared on a mainline GDQ. So sit back, relax, and watch this amazing runner just totally demolish this battle system. It is going to be a joy to watch. Sent did a really good job of shining a light on why you want to watch this run, but we've got some incentives, and I want to go ahead and just start and talk about what these incentives are and how we're doing on them. So the first one is actually closed now, but it was about what voice language we're going to use in Final Fantasy 13, either Japanese or English. We don't see the cutscenes, but there's still some speaking that you would see, and English was winning up until the very last minute. There, we had a $500 donation from Anonymous that really likes hearing Japanese voices. So we're going to be listening to this in Japanese. It got sniped. It was amazing to watch. We were all just ready with the English version. The Japanese one got sniped at the very last minute. Thank you, Anonymous, for your $500 donation for that. We also have Adam and Kyle, Adam and Big Turtle, who wants to stomp on you in Chapter 12. We have that boss fight. Lightning and Snow, neither one of them want to get stomped on, but we want to. But we want to choose which one makes that turtle not stomp on you. So we've got Lightning or Snow. You've got about 4 hours to get this in. Right now, Lightning is really far in the lead, $3,800 to $1,700. So if you really want to see Snow stop this turtle from stomping people, you need to donate over for Snow. And then the Dahaka blindfolded fight, we're going to see it during the run, but we want to see it again and not let Kyaroon see it. We're about halfway there. We got $80,000 total. We got about $39,000 to go. So Twitch chat, I believe in you. Official GDQ Discord, oh yeah, I see you in your bingo card. You're welcome.